Island, but
Yeah. No, well, it's true. A lot of people believe that, and there are also people that believe that animals don't have souls, and I believe they do.
oh, they do. When I've brought people to the other side, and their pets have shown up,
Yeah.
dogs and cats. So
Yeah. Well, they say that you will see your pets also on the other side, and I have
absolutely.
plenty waiting for me over there. Yeah. Well, I used to run an animal organization with my friend Frank, who passed away in December, and so we've had quite a few animals that we cared for that I'm sure are on the other. I'm sure he's with them all right now. But that's one of the things I'd like to check out.
Okay,
But
I'll be happy to do that with you.
yeah.
Have you ever had a hairless cat?
A what?
A hairless cat, a sphinx cat? Is that
No,
what it's
I've heard
called?
of them, but I have
Sphinx?
never had one. No.
Not a sphinx or sphinx? How do you say it?
Sphinx.
Sphinx cat.
Sphinx.
Not a sphinx.
No.
No. A sphinx cat. Those
Excuse
are the
me.
hairless cats.
Sphinx. Yeah.
Never had one of those?
No.
All right. I'd like to get one. That's why because you had a lot of animals.
Yeah. No. I mostly had dogs actually, although we did have a few cats, and but they're all gone now.
See, I'm more of a dog
Me too.
man.
Yeah. I'm more of a dog. I mean, I love cats too. I love all animals.
But I'm out of the house a lot, so I think a cat would be, if I'm going to
Yeah.
have a pet, it would have to be, because they're more
Oh, yeah.
self-sufficient.
They are. They're more independent.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say dogs have masters, but cats have staff. All right.
What's your favorite kind of dog?
Oh, I don't know.
First one that comes to your head, say it.
Beagle. I don't know.
Really?
They're nice.
Mine used to be a German Shepherd. If I get a dog again, I think I want to get like a Great Dane.
Now, Great Danes, you have to remember, don't last long.
They don't?
They only live 8 or 9 years, because any dog that is super super big or super super small is not a natural breed. It's a man-made breed. And because they bred the dogs bigger and bigger and bigger, what would happen is that their hearts didn't grow to keep that much weight.
Okay.
So eventually the heart will give out.
So then what about a German Shepherd? Because they're not a...
They're also a large dog.
Yes, okay, they're a large dog.
But a lot of it also depends on your care of the
Yes.
animal, depends on the lineage, where they came from, because very often if you go to a pet store and buy a pet, usually they've come from a breeder or God forbid a puppy mill, where the puppy mill puppies are not as healthy because they're not as cared for as a regular breeder or a mongrel that you might find in an animal shelter,
Okay.
And don't forget also, the shelters have 1/3 of the animals in shelters are pedigrees anyway, because people give them up also.
Right.
But that's a little off the
Yes.
beaten path now.
Well, it's on the path because pets are there.
That's right, they are
So-
there. So then we can fully expect to see our pets when it's our time.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. They say, I don't know if you're familiar with the expression now, that the Rainbow Bridge, they say they meet you at the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the expression. I haven't seen the Rainbow Bridge, though.
Okay, we'll find out if that exists.
You mentioned about, as a child, you always knew there was more.
That meets the eye, yes.
As a child, I used to do all the metaphysical, like out-of-body, astral, traveling,
So you've been into this all
dream
all your
control. I
life.
used to see auras. Well, I still see auras, but I'm saying as a child, I used to do all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I learned from an early age to keep it to myself because,
Because you get ridiculed.
yes. And I mean, my family still, I used to say from the moment, and there's another story behind this. Actually, maybe I can tell you the whole story.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, I wasn't born to the family I was supposed to be born to. I was pushed out of the way. So I was, the family that I was born to, my family, I wasn't really supposed to be born there. So anyway, from the moment, I didn't know, well, I did know this growing up, but from the moment I could speak, I used to say to my mother that she wasn't really my mother. I
Oh,
used to
no.
say I was from another world and I was zapped into her stomach.
Oh, no.
So they took it as like, oh, George thinks he's an alien. So they still laugh about it. Oh, everyone gets together like any family occasion. Oh, yeah, George used to think he was an alien. No, never said I was an alien. But anyway. Yeah, and another interesting thing. Well, we'll save that for another time.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's something that, so in other words then, so then when you knew all of these things as a young child. How did you evolve into where you are today with the hypnosis and all that?
Thank you for asking that. With hypnosis, I'm able to bring people to have the same experiences, and I'm able to teach them how to do the same things, to astral travel through self-hypnosis, to see auras through self-hypnosis, go to the other side, and then to do remote healing. And the remote healing is very powerful. And I do a 2-day workshop. It's called Healing. It's a 2-day healing workshop and Evolve Your Soul training.
Wow.
And on the first day, I have people bring a list of everything that they want to get rid of, all the negatives, anything about themselves, and then a list of everything they want to accomplish. And all on the first day, I do a number of hypnosis sessions. I teach some neurolinguistic programming techniques, and I teach them self-hypnosis. And then at the end of the day, we work on that all on the first day. We get rid of, by the end of the first day, the transformation in everyone who comes to the workshop is incredible. At the end of the day, I take them to that deepest state, and then I bring them to the other side to visit, to receive messages, and then I take them to channel that energy through themselves and direct that beautiful, pure love, white light healing energy through themselves to everyone in the room. Now, I'm walking around as I'm doing this because I'm speaking, and I'm not even walking on the ground anymore, pretty much. And I get like all different shades of purple, mist. Like, don't even see anyone anymore as I'm doing, and my eyes are open. It's very powerful. A lot of people after the first day that have worn glasses, even Coke bottle glasses, their entire lives, vision's corrected. They don't need glasses anymore.
Wow.
After the first day.
Wow.
Hearing corrected. Asthma, it's not a real thing. Asthma's gone like this.
Wow.
So the second day, I teach everyone how to connect to source instantly through self-hypnosis, to channel that energy through themselves to do remote healing. And the results are amazing. And I guess I could speak about it. I have friends on Staten Island that'll definitely laugh at this, but I have tons and tons of proof as far as cancer, liver disease, bone structure, gone like this
Wow.
from the healing that we do.
Really, cancer that would normally be something that would be devastating. It would be something where it would be something where the person would end up dying from it, but now it's gone.
Actually, I'll give you a quick example. My mother had Crohn's disease pretty much her whole life. She got to the point where she was going to need you know what Crohn's disease is, right?
Not too familiar
Well,
with it.
whatever it is with the intestines, digestive, whatever it is,
Oh, okay.
where she was going to need a bag to go to the bathroom.
Colostomy
Yes.
bag. Yeah,
Anyway, I said, you know what? Let me heal my mother.
sure.
Put myself in a trance. I go there. I fill her up with that white light, get rid of whatever needs to be gotten rid of. So, Crohn's disease, gone. Not in remission, gone, like she never had it. Okay. She developed lung cancer. So now she got a second, third, I think maybe a fourth opinion, and they wanted to start treatment. This is a few years going back. They wanted to start treatment in September. And I said, Ma, do me a favor. Don't go and get another opinion, but don't go until maybe October, November. And she didn't want to start treatment because her father, my grandfather, died of lung cancer, horrible death. And so she didn't want to start the treatment because you lose your hair and whatever the side effects are. So she said okay. She didn't even ask. She just said okay. So then, put myself in a trance. I go there astrally. I see her energy body. I see the darkness in her lungs. I put my energy hand in. I take out that darkness. I get rid of it, and I fill her with that white light. And she wound up going back to the doctors in December, and doctors were like, "What's going on?" Then then they got another opinion. It's gone as if it never existed. Not in remission, gone. And then I shared that with a couple of people. Oh, that's coincidence, even though I've been doing this with many people. Oh, it's a coincidence. So I said, you know what? I said, one morning I wanted to test it. Now, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and before I start my day, I said, you know what? Today's a good day to test it. I put myself in a trance. I go there to my mother's house astrally. This is in Florida, and she lives about an hour and a half away from me. So I go there astrally. She's still sleeping. I'm filling her with that white light, And as I'm filling her with that white light, I'm giving her the suggestions that today's going to be the greatest day of your life. You're going to be the happiest you've ever been in your entire life. And I give her the additional suggestion that, and you're going to be, if anyone asks you, you're going to be so amazed that, you don't even know why you're so happy, but it's the greatest day of your life, the happiest you've ever been, but you don't even know why. And I'm filling her, and I give her more, positive suggestions. Come back to my body. I go out, I was working. At the end of the day, I stopped at her house, and we sit down. We're about to watch Law and Order, and I said, "Ma, how was your day?" She turned to me with the biggest smile, and she said, "George, it was the greatest day of my life. She says, the happiest I've ever been."
Huh.
And she goes, "And I don't even know why." And I says, "Oh, that's nice."
It's amazing.
So I know how real this is, and then people that come to my 2-day workshop, they know how real it is afterwards.
Well, let's tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. Well, first of all, you have a website.
Yes.
www.adepthealer, A-D-E-P-T, Adept Healer, H-E-A-L-E-R, adepthealer.com.
Yes.
Now, they can get in touch with you at that particular site. Would you like me to tell you your telephone number here?
Yes, that'd be fine.
Okay, if you wanted to get in touch with George, if you want to attend any of his classes, he's at 646-245-5259. That's 646-245-5259.
Thank you.
You're welcome, because something like this, I'm sure, would be able to help quite a few people, especially
absolutely.
in the realm of healing themselves or getting healed from their losses.
Yes, and what I like to do, yes, I do the remote healing and I teach the remote healing. And just by channeling that energy through yourself to heal others,
Right.
As you're healing others, you're healing yourself.
Well, I'm a Reiki master myself.
I have a lot of Reiki people, a lot of Reiki masters come to my workshops. They love it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Takes whatever they're doing to a much higher level.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, I'm going to have to try that, because as a Reiki master healer myself, I know that when I'm sending out the energy or giving the energy hands-on, I am. Well, you're bringing it through your own body, so the healing is healing you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sure.
But I really like to teach people that your mind is so very powerful. Your mind is extraordinarily powerful. Like most people, they don't understand how powerful their mind is. Your every thought, what your mind imagines, your body feels. So if you have stress, what does it do? It creates stomach problems, cancer, you name it. But when you hold on to negative thoughts and negative emotions, it eats away at you. When you hold on to guilt and anger, it eats away at you. And you have to let that go. But most people, in their conscious mind, they don't even know that they're holding on to that. It's your subconscious mind. Actually, I'll give you some examples.
Go ahead.
I had a client. She calls me. She's 39 years old. Was 39 years old. She was in a relationship. It was a brief relationship, but she really fell hard for this guy. I mean, really fell in love. And then the guy was, let's say, less than honest to find out that he was married with children. They lived in the same
boy,
development.
That's never easy.
Yeah. So she was destroyed, and her anxiety was building and building, to where if she saw anything that reminded her of him, then if she saw the color blue because he had a blue BMW. Anyway, she got to the point where she couldn't even leave her home.
Oh, boy.
So I did this therapy called Mending a Broken Heart. So once I did that, totally transformed. She didn't have any emotions towards him, nothing, not even a second thought. And if she ran into him, she would laugh hysterical on the inside, because her subconscious mind saw him with clown hair, clown nose, clown feet, and heard circus music.
Oh, no.
That's how powerful your mind is.
Good.
So she called me up later on. She didn't tell me this. I have clients fill out an intake form. Like if they have other conditions, fill it out. She didn't fill any of this out. She's very private. Okay. And she had a spinal condition since childhood. She had several surgeries. She was scheduled for another surgery. She went to she just knew I was a hypnotist. She went to my other site, the Adept Healer site. She saw that I do healing. So she called me up. She didn't want to do surgery. What can you do? I went, I explained to her, and I did a healing transfer. And what I did was I took healing she experienced as a child, I anchored it to her hand. I took the healing. I actually took the healing that she experienced as a child, anchored it to her hand. The spinal condition I anchored to her shoulder. So now with the power in hypnosis, with the power of her mind, I transferred that same healing to her shoulder, to her spinal condition, and then gave her, of course, a lot of positive reinforcements. 3 weeks later, she called me up. Not only was she not in pain, the doctors were amazed, baffled, shocked. They had no idea what was going on. It was as if her spinal condition never existed. There weren't even any signs of surgery.
Wow.
No signs of surgery.
Amazing.
That's how powerful your mind is.
Right, yeah.
Now, 6 months later, she calls me up again. And she developed cancer in her reproductive area.
Oh, my God.
So I said, okay, well, there's got to be something else going on. I could have done a healing transfer with it, but I decided not to. There's got to be more to it. Anyway, our subconscious mind, one of its main functions is to protect us against any dangers, real or imagined. And sometimes it protects us in a way that we don't want it to. And she had intimacy issues, and she's telling me she had all these horrible relationships. She's never had a good relationship, a loving relationship. So her subconscious mind was protecting her from being in a situation where she would be intimate by giving her cancer there.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So I said, you know what? How about would you like to change your personal history? Oh, by the way, forgiveness is one of our most powerful healing tools.
I'll bet, sure.
She said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was, well, it all started when she was 12 years old. Her next door neighbor was her best friend. It was a boy. They both decided they liked each other. So he sent his friend over to get her. He wanted to kiss her, but in front of the other kids in the neighborhood, she said no. She didn't feel comfortable. So, kids can be cruel and vicious.
Sure.
And they put her on trial. They had a jury. They had a judge. They sentenced her, condemned her, humiliated her.
It's terrible.
Well, yeah. And that affected her whole life because now she had all these bad relationships all the way through. I said, okay, well, let's change her history. So we go in, we redo her entire history. We get rid of, her old history. We get rid of the emotional charge. We get rid of all the charge to it. We neutralize it. Then I did forgiveness, how to forgive. Because when you forgive, you're freeing yourself to live your perfect life. You're freeing yourself to be happy. You're freeing yourself. You're not holding on to any of those things that are causing the cancer or anything else. Forgiveness will get rid of cancer like this.
Including forgiving yourself.
You have to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So we forgive the old history, and then we let it go. We got rid of it, destroyed the old history. She remembers it, but we destroyed it. Now we created a new history, and I had to relive the new history over and over, where she got to experience that first kiss in private. She had a relationship with the boy when it came time when they both learned and grew from each other, and they knew that they were meant to be, to move on. They broke up amicably, and she went on to the next relationship where she learned and grew. All the relationship with mutual respect, healthy love, and understanding, and whatever her words are for a perfect relationship. In any case, she absolutely loved it. And a month later, no cancer.
Wow.
She didn't have to start treatment. It was gone like it never existed. And she also didn't have any intimacy issues. I spoke to her a year after that therapy, and she told me she was on something like 54 dates. Some of them were like second, third, and fourth dates because she was picking the right guys. She didn't become like a mad whore where she's just jumping all over everyone.
Right.
But she was very careful. She didn't have any intimacy issues, but she was being careful of who she picked because she wanted that perfect relationship. Because we all deserve to have that perfect relationship. Mm-hmm. So just to let you know.
Uh-huh. No, well, it's true. It's true, absolutely. So, well, that's all really very interesting as far as, So you're saying then that if we get into our lives and we look at these things and we can change the past, we can make the future better.
Yes, there's an infinite amount of techniques. There's an infinite amount of reasons and possibilities of why things are the way they are, which your subconscious mind has all the answers, by the way. And there's also an infinite amount of ways to heal anything and everything. There's just an infinite amount of techniques. So to say yes, and I'll ask when I have a client, well, how do you want to do it? Would you like to change your history? Because sometimes they don't want to change their history. They want to hold on to it. Okay, but I neutralize it, forgive. Forgiveness, very powerful. And then there's just an infinite amount of techniques. That's just one example of one of them. The healing transfer and changing personal history. But I like changing the personal history. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, well, if you can do it, why not? You
Yeah.
know, especially if your personal history has not been that pleasant, and you want to make it make it better. You know, if you can make the past better, why not?
And I'd like to go on record now, because I know a lot of people, they do go to psychics and mediums, and not all of them, some of them are, I feel, are very irresponsible, especially when they give negative news or they say something about a health condition. I feel a psychic, if they see something is wrong health-wise, they should just send their intentions to heal it, as opposed to letting the person know. Because once you say something to the person, it goes in their conscious mind, and then they focus on it.
And they can manifest it.
Yes. But another thing is, I don't care how many people, if you've gone to 1,000 psychics and they tell you that A, B, and C is written in stone, you have no choice, this is your future, that's BS. I can say BS, right, on this station?
Sure, you can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because it is BS.
Right.
Because you can change your future right now, right this second, like this. Just change a thought, it's like this.
Well, if a person goes to a psychic and they say, "Oh, you're going to get a new job, or you're going to meet a new love, or something like that," yeah, I guess you could possibly look forward to that happening.
Yes.
Especially if you believe it and you put it in your mind that that's what's going to happen.
Yes.
But if they say, "Oh, you're going to get a new job, but it's not going to work out," or something like that, and then you're going to go to another job, but you can change that by either skipping over the job that's not going to work out, or
Perhaps. So you have the power, each one of us, we have the power to create our reality, to create our future. And
just with our thoughts.
yes, absolutely.
They say thoughts are very, very powerful.
And by the way, that's another thing, when I do bring people to the other side face to face with their spirit guides, they get information about their path, why they're here on Earth, what they chose to experience, and they get information about their future as well. But even the future that you get from your spirit guides, you can still change. And they'll tell you, when you're there, your spirit guide will tell you, you have the power to change your future.
In other words, if you continue on this path, this is what's going to happen, but you can change that by going on a different path.
Absolutely.
Or doing a different something.
Yes.
I see. Oh, that's really very interesting. So then, when a person sees their spirit guide and is now, tell me, do you now? Because I don't know. Do you consider yourself, or would you call yourself or label yourself a psychic or a medium or anything like that?
Do I have abilities? Yes. Now, as far as psychic, when you use that word, people think, to predict the future and read people. I actually refuse to read people.
Yeah.
I won't do it. I don't want to pry. And especially when there's a lot of people that just are learning and just getting out there, and they'll just start reading people out of nowhere. You could pick up someone else's energy and give the wrong reading. I don't want to do it, because you can change your future at any moment. I'd rather teach the person to create their reality, their perfect reality, to live the life that they want to live with perfect health and happiness. So I don't want to pry. I don't pry. I could do remote view too. I could see what's going on in that room. I can tell you what's going on in my house right now. I won't do that. Very ethical. Something I will not focus on. I will not focus on reading anyone either. I'd rather bring the person there and get all the information firsthand.
In other words, let the person go and look at their own things that are going on rather than tell them.
Yes, and I'd rather give them the tools to heal themselves, to heal others, to create their perfect reality.
So if a person is at a point where, say a person's at a point where they're saying, "Oh, nothing is going right. Everything is in my life is just upside down." What do you recommend they do?
Well, the more they focus on their life being upside down and all the negatives, the more they're going to create, and they're going to stay in that state.
So in other words, they have to do kind of a mind over matter kind of thing where they're saying,
well, here's the thing, where, when The Secret came out and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going to think positive, I'm going to think positive." Okay. That's on the conscious level. And I had friends that was, oh, I'm going to think, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. I'm thinking positive, I'm thinking positive. Then the time comes, it doesn't happen, and they say, oh, in the back of my head, I knew this wasn't going to happen. Well, guess what? Then you were never actually thinking positive. If you knew that it wasn't going to happen, it didn't happen because that's. But take it a step further. Even if you're not thinking in the back of your mind that it's not going to happen, but you're thinking, oh, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, I'm thinking positive. If it doesn't match the programming in your subconscious mind, it's not going to happen. See, with hypnosis, we're able to go in there and change your programming like this. Whereas the conscious mind, you have willpower, and willpower doesn't really work. And people will tell themselves on the conscious level that they're going to do this, this, and this. If it doesn't match the programming, it's that much more difficult.
Willpower, like in going on a diet or getting
Yes.
some exercise and all that kind of stuff.
Quit smoking and stuff like that. You know how many
Right.
times people say, I'm never going to smoke again. They put this pack of cigarettes down. I'm never going to touch a cigarette. And the next night, they're out with their friends having a few drinks. I can have one, and there you
Yeah,
go.
next
Even if
thing-
they lasted a year, they go right back to it. With hypnosis, you change the programming to be a non-smoker, never smoke again. Because you're programming your subconscious mind, that's who you are.
Well, now I was once a smoker. I haven't touched a cigarette in over 11 years.
Congratulations.
Thank
11
you.
years. So about when you were like 22?
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, isn't he so sweet?
I
Anyway, though, but I know in my mind that if I was to ever pick up a cigarette, I'll probably be right back where I was 11 years ago when I was struggling to get off them. You know, so I won't let myself be tempted by by it, and I don't even need it anymore. Actually, to tell you the truth,
Good.
I have no urges or anything. But I got off them suddenly, and you know, so I know that you have to program yourself to be able to just say no, I guess, huh?
Well, with hypnosis, you don't even it's not a struggle anymore. No more, you don't have any urges, no withdrawals, nothing. You won't even think twice about it.
Yeah, well, that's really good. So, this has all been so very interesting, George. It's like, I'm blown away with everything you've been
Thank you.
saying here because it's really very.
And after the show, let me know if you'd like to visit the other side.
I would.
I'll take you there.
I would. I'd appreciate that. That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you. And you know what? We'll come back and do a show about it, and maybe bring a couple of people into it, and we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I said, this has been, I hope that everyone has gotten a lot out of this, and everything that George is saying about healing yourself and knowing that your loved ones are in a better place and that they do see you. As John Edwards says, we miss them, but they don't miss us because they see us all the time.
Yes.
We don't see them. So because of that, anyway, though, in the meantime, I guess that's our signal. And everybody, have a good evening. And thank you, George, for coming. It's really been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
So very interesting. And thank you very much, everybody. Good night.